Here's more wrestling news for May 15th, 2022. And your headlines for this afternoon include: chaos breaks out after fan attacks pro wrestler at indie event. WWE has allegedly chosen the new Brock Lesnar. WWE shop possibly going through big changes after huge executive departure. Shelton Benjamin out of action with injury. List of WWE superstars the company allows to get haircuts. Former WWE superstar bumped up to full backstage producer. Freddie Prinze Jr. got advice from Cody Rhodes for his new wrestling promotion. Rhea Ripley says Beth Phoenix needs to join her or fight her. A lot of us wouldn't be here without him. Kevin Owens on working with WWE Legend. I don't find that funny, you're both fired. Vince McMahon's amusing response after WWE Legend impersonated him on Raw. I really do think it was my fault. Ex-AEW star reflects on his time in Tony Khan's promotion or suggests reason for departure, and more. We're kicking off today with Roman Reigns, who has signed a new contract that will see him work far fewer dates with WWE. The undisputed WWE Universal Champion will also be appearing at fewer premium live events, and many have compared the Tribal Chief to his old nemesis, Brock Lesnar. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that these comparisons are well-founded, as WWE has plans to make Reigns a modern-day equivalent to the Beast incarnate. The idea now is to try and make Reigns into a new Lesnar, a guy who beats everyone and is portrayed at a level of his own while he only works limited dates. Part of Lesnar's mystique is that he only appears so rarely, so anytime he does appear and compete, it becomes a must-see spectacle. Meltzer added that Reigns' new situation is closer to Lesnar and Bill Goldberg than to any of the full-time talent in WWE, and that TV matches for the Tribal Chief will be especially rare. Reigns is 8 years younger than Lesnar and has already proven himself against the Beast and Goldberg, and he is now entered into a level of his own thanks to his lucrative new contract. Over the past 2 years, WWE has seen a lot of names come and go, both on-screen and from their corporate side, and now a major figure is heading out of the company. Brad Shepard was the first one to report that Kevin Moore will be leaving WWE after a decade with the company, and currently serves as the Vice President of E-commerce and Venue Merchandise. This means that Moore is in charge of WWE Shop and the merchandising found at live events, and it's said that his departure is a direct product of business deals orchestrated by WWE President Nick Khan. Moore is said to be incredibly well-liked, and his decision to leave has been called a blow to morale, but WWE will now need to find someone else to handle their merchandise from here on. When Shelton Benjamin returned to WWE in 2016, an injury derailed his plans, and it'd be over a year before the Gold Standard would actually get in the ring. The biggest part of Benjamin's return to WWE so far has been his role in the Hurt Business and tenure as Raw Tag Team Champion, but he's now injured once again. On Twitter, Shelton said that it was for the second time in his career that an injury has put him on the shelf, adding that this is a little setback. Benjamin didn't disclose what kind of injury he suffered, but we're wishing him the best on his road to recovery. Now recently, Edge debuted a new look on WWE TV, having cut his hair short as part of his new role with Judgment Day. Edge's change comes just a few weeks after Becky Lynch changed her look in the run-up to WrestleMania, as the hairstyles of active superstars has become a big topic behind the scenes. According to Fightful, WWE has a list of talent who are allowed to get haircuts backstage, with AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes, Edge, and Seth Rollins all being approved from Raw. Interestingly, Bobby Lashley is allowed to get his hair, what little there is, cut at WWE tapings, a process we imagine doesn't take long. As for SmackDown, Drew McIntyre, The Bloodline, Sami Zayn, and Sheamus make up just some of the names who are allowed to get a trim as part of WWE's productions. For anyone not on these lists, they have to find their own barbers to cut their hair, though we imagine all haircuts have to be approved by the company first in one of the many strange backstage rules held by WWE. Now, WWE has a lot of backstage producers working hard each week, with many of them coming from a history in the ring. Tyson Kidd and Molly Holly have both earned a ton of respect for their producer work, and now another former WWE star will soon be joining. Fightful Select reports that Ariya Daivari was listed as a solo producer on WWE's internal documents this past Monday, after working as a producer on a trial basis. It seems like some good news for Rhea Daivari, if internal WWE documents are to be believed. After a month of serving as a producer with the help of others backstage at WWE shows, Daivari was listed on internal rundowns for his first solo assignment this past Monday. Usually during the trial basis, there is a veteran producer listed with someone getting the tryout. Joe Hennig, Curtis Axel, who also participated in the tryouts, was not listed on WWE Raw, but participated in the SmackDown tapings. Rhea Daivari was back to working with a veteran producer Friday. Rhea joined WWE in 2016 as part of the Cruiserweight Classic, but was released in 2021. But with how well he's done in his trial producer role, expect him to become a permanent fixture of WWE again, albeit behind the scenes. Earlier this month, Freddie Prinze Jr. announced that he is starting his own promotion, one that will be union-friendly and give talent rights they don't otherwise see in the industry. Prinze has big plans for his new company, and now he's revealed more about the promotion he plans on getting started in the next 18 months. Appearing on Stories with Briscoe and Bradshaw, Prinze said that he's already been real estate shopping and is looking to own a place where he can host a venue. He went on to say that he bought a lighting kit from the Fox boxing crew as they were replacing the old one, and Prinze snatched up the $38,000 rig for a bargain of $6,000. Freddie added that he's spoken to Cody Rhodes about starting your own promotion and said that while it's a lot to learn, he's doing it the right way. Rhodes certainly knows about making your own company, and AEW has gone on to be a runaway success, and time will tell if Freddie's company, whatever it'll be called, has a long-term future in the industry. When Edge turned heel earlier this month, everyone was shocked, but few were more shocked than Beth Phoenix. The wife of Edge, Beth has been vocally against her husband's actions over social media, and her comments have caught the attention of Judgment Day. While speaking to 99.5 WKDQ, the group's newest member, Rhea Ripley, spoke about the Glamazon and had quite the ultimatum for her. I've seen quite a few of her posts on Twitter, and I'm not sure whether she is very happy about me joining the Judgment Day. So Beth is going to have to put her emotions aside and be on our side pretty much, or she's going to have to fight me. Beth Phoenix is my dream opponent. As fans saw at this year's Royal Rumble, Beth is certainly in in-ring shape, but whether she stands with Judgment Day or stands against them remains to be seen. One of the fundamental rules of wrestling is that fans shouldn't get physical with the wrestlers, and that's a lesson one fan needed to learn at a recent indie event. During a show for IWE Pro Wrestling on Saturday, one fan decided to headbutt the heel Joe Black after getting riled up by Black's character. What resulted was a huge fight, and security had to keep the two apart, but the brawl would continue into utter chaos. A different young fan was said to be visibly affected by the whole incident, and it's unclear if charges have been filed or not, but whatever the case, this should never have happened in the first place. Back to WWE, and before he was making a name for himself on the main roster, Kevin Owens dominated NXT under the watchful eye of the brand's then leader, Triple H. Owens was with NXT for less than a year but became one of its biggest stars, and according to the prizefighter, he and plenty more names have Triple H to thank. Speaking to TalkSport, Owens discussed the reputation Triple H has, as he for years faced claims of burying talent, but that's not how the Canadian superstar saw things. There was always the reputation about him, right? I always thought he was really good at what he did, and to me, he always elevated the shows he was on and the people he was working with, so I never really got that vibe of the reputation. I wasn't surprised when I met him that he was a guy who was all about growing the industry and giving people a chance. He proved my assumptions right many times over the past few years, and a lot of us wouldn't be here without him. Triple H's career in the ring is over, and he's lost power over on NXT, but the impact that the cerebral assassin had over WWE continues to live on. And we're ending today with Vince McMahon, who decides who gets hired and fired in WWE and is also a notorious prankster. One person who took the joke from the boss is JBL, who on a January 2014 Legends Night special of Raw, dressed up as the chairman himself. Reciting lines Vince McMahon used during his days as a commentator, JBL found it funny at the time, but as he explained to Gerald Briscoe this week, the chairman had a rebuttal. I dressed up, I had the bouffant hair like Vince, I went to his old barber, got the stuff. I was saying all these catchphrases just like Vince, like childhood dreams come true. Vince doesn't realize it for a while, and finally, about the second or third match, he goes, Michael, John, I don't find that funny, you're both fired. We're not sure why Cole would be fired for JBL's impersonation, but the boss was clearly kidding, as both men have roles with WWE to this day. To be fair, the chairman has fired people in the past for this, as Rob Bartlett was fired as Raw commentator in 1993, days after doing an unimproved impression of Vince, so JBL got very lucky in 2014. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.